Hey, what up, Nerd Squad? How's it? Thanks for stopping back in this week. Got another little video for you. Today, I want to talk about the rebellion. Just kidding. I do want to talk about the Gina Carano and Ben Shapiro interview that took place about a week ago. I am, however, not going to do a full-blown deep dive on it. I'm not going to give you guys specifics on what was said or play any clips from it because I think you guys can search that out. It's everywhere. You can take a look. I would suggest watching it. I think if you stand with her, it's worth watching. I think if you're on the side of hatred, it's still probably worth taking a look at and getting her perspective on all of the things that she has been just kind of dragged through the mud on in the last year and more. So take a look at it. I think it's worth it. Initially for me, this was no surprise. Everything she said in it is what I already knew. I never took anything she posted or said for anything more than what it was. I didn't think there was any hidden messages or hatred behind anything, but apparently the social justice warriors out there felt like everything she posted was an attack on something when it wasn't. And their toxic nature, came after her in a very witch hunt like manner. So I think it was good for her to put it out there. I think it was good for everybody to get to hear it from her mouth and what the meaning was behind everything and why she said what she said and posted what she posted and that it wasn't what everybody thought it was. For me, again, I didn't need clarification. I think that was very apparent, especially with the post that everybody tried to label her as anti-Semitic for. Everybody was trying to say that what she meant was that conservatives were being treated like Jews in the Holocaust. And if you just read the whole thing and have half a brain in your head, you can understand that's not at all what she meant. And that it was very apparent to just say that the powers that be will try to turn common men and women and neighbors and, those people against each other. That's their goal, to turn you against each other so that it makes it easier for them to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish in the long run. And make, people hate each other and that there's a very bad outcome when that happens and that is very much what is happening. And that's not a secret. It very much is if you do not align your thoughts and beliefs with someone else, there's an automatic divide. And right now that divide is of hatred for each other. It is this automatic labeling each other of being a racist or a, xenophobe or a transphobe and all this stuff based on nothing. And I think that, again, she didn't need to clarify that. If you read it, you should be able to understand that that's what it means. But again, it was a witch hunt and people were looking for things to attack her with. And so the morons out there who don't understand how to read thought that she meant that conservatives were being treated like Jews in the Holocaust. And that wasn't the case. So again, I didn't need clarification. Most of you out there, I guess, apparently did need clarification. So I think it was good for her to be able to put it out there. There's a lot of talk too about how, there's a multitude of things she was fired for from the Mandalorian, and it was spreading lies about the election and, misinformation about COVID and how dangerous that has become and all this stuff. And to be honest with you, like even that stuff, none of it, in my opinion, is harmful. And I think you're allowed to question things. And I think both of these things have been heavily questioned. The validity of the election was heavily questioned. And I think there's a lot of people that still question it. And that's okay. And I think the fact that there was never any concrete evidence to show that things were done appropriately, it was just simply the media saying, don't worry, everything was done correctly. That doesn't sit well with a lot of people. And that's fine. It's totally fine if you want to feel like I need more than just you telling me that it's okay. And a lot of her posts did that. They were basically to say, we need more proof. Like, give us more to go off of than just you saying it is what it is. That doesn't work for a lot of people. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that her having that opinion is totally fine. The other stuff, though, about the spreading, lies about COVID, it's the same thing. I think our country right now is split right up the middle on, are they buying off on the seriousness of COVID and are they not? I think it's very, very hard to come to a concrete, solution on this thing of is it as bad as they're saying, or is this a political tool? Is this propaganda? Is this whatever you want to call it? And somebody being allowed to question that is okay. If you don't like those lines of thinking, then don't follow her. It's really that simple. I don't understand why so many people felt the need to attack everything that she said just to do it. If you don't agree with it, that's okay. You don't have to agree with it. Nobody's forcing you to agree with it. The other thing that I find super funny in this whole thing is during this interview, Gina talked very much about how bullied she was online and from her employers and stuff of that nature. And to me, it's the typical hypocrisy of the social justice movement and these social justice warriors who, years ago would have fought and, kicked and punched and scratched to no end to end bullying and to say, stop the hate, stop the bullying and all this stuff. That was what I was under the impression was kind of their campaign slogan there for a long time, was that the hate and the bullying has to stop. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff implemented at schools now for anti-bullying and stuff, which there should be. People should not be bullied for who they are. But it's also funny to me that these people who are such advocates for anti-bullying are the people doing the bullying, and trying to force her into doing certain things. And I think if you look at things as the totality of circumstances, which I know for a lot of you is going to be really tough to do, but bear with me on this. When she posted the beep bop boop or whatever the specifics were as a pronoun thing, the internet erupted and said she's transphobic and all this stuff, when to me, there's no correlation there. And I think, again, if you watch the interview, you can see she will tell you that has nothing to do with hating on trans people or anything of that nature. And that the reality of the situation is, leading up to her posting that, she was getting bullied online by people saying, you need to post your pronouns. You have to post your pronouns and do all this stuff. And it's like, why? It doesn't matter. And if it doesn't matter to me, if it doesn't matter to her or whoever, then there's not a need to post pronouns. If you feel the need to have your pronouns out there, then post them, and that's fine. But trying to force it on other people just isn't necessary. So it doesn't make sense. And for her to say that wasn't a slam at trans people or the trans community. It just was what she put there. And she says that plain as day. So you don't need to look any deeper than what it is. It is exactly what she said it was. Me just posting something on there just to have something posted because everybody kept telling me that I had to post something here. So she does it, and then there's a backlash of everybody saying she's transphobic when nothing that she said was transphobic. It's also not transphobic to not post your pronouns. If I don't want to post my pronouns, it has nothing to do with being transphobic. I don't care how you choose to live your life. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what sex or gender or whichever one of those is the appropriate term even. And I don't care how you choose to identify. I don't care what race you are. I don't care about any of that stuff. As long as you're a good, upstanding person, that's what I'm going to go off of. Character for me is key. So I don't care. I don't care about the rest of that. And it's not right to just label people as a certain thing, like being transphobic, because I don't have pronouns posted, or because she doesn't have pronouns posted, or whatever. Or if she throws one up there that doesn't make sense, which the funny thing is, a handful of the people in the community that feel the need to post their pronouns will post things that are very similar to that don't make sense, that aren't real things. It's okay for them to do it, but you take it as her being offensive. That doesn't work. You don't get to play both sides. If people that feel the need to post pronouns are doing the same thing that she did, it's the same thing. So again, it was a witch hunt. From start to finish, it was a witch hunt. And, I still stand with her, and I applaud her for doing the interview and for standing her ground and being able to say that this is the person that I am and that's okay, because it is okay. We live in a society now where if you are of a certain race, you're automatically racist. If you are a certain gender, you're automatically homophobic, transphobic, or whatever, because you choose to be called a male or a female. And we're seeing that even with toys now. I mean, just within the last day or so, Hasbro has announced that Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head are going to be gender neutral, just Potato Head. It is still okay to be a man. It is still okay to be female. It is still okay to be any race under the sun. It's okay. And I think people are having a hard time understanding that, and they need somewhere to lash out because they're bored or, I don't know, misinformed, I guess. But the stuff that Gina said and the stuff she posted online, again, if you don't like it, if you don't like her way of thinking or her values or her outlook on stuff, then don't follow her. It's really literally that easy. Nobody's got a gun to your head forcing you to sit there and be, watching every tweet she posts and every Instagram post or picture she puts out. You don't have to be there. And don't consume yourself with negativity. If you take what she says as hate and negativity and so on and so forth, why are you letting that control your narrative? Doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. But it didn't change anything for me. I still am a Gina Carano fan. I still stand with her. I hope nothing but the best for her and her career and everything moving forward. And honestly, I hope this does spur more people to stand up and say that it's okay to have different thoughts and values and opinions, and not to just bow down to what I guess the people feel like are the masses. But in reality, I think it's a very small group of people that are screaming the loudest for attention that are creating all these problems online for things. So I think we need to see more of it. I think more people need to have some spine and some backbone and stand their ground for the things that they believe in, and do it in a tasteful manner. And I think that's one thing too that I would also give Gina a ton of credit for, is everything she has posted has been very tasteful. Nothing is blatantly racist, sexist, or any of that stuff. Because if you know and watch any of the interviews she's ever done, you can tell that's not the person she is. That's not the character that she has. But she makes you think, and I think that's fantastic. And I think those are the kind of people that, in all reality, you should be trying to surround yourselves with, are the people who will post something or say something to you that makes you stop and think. And I think that's what we're lacking right now, is people don't think about anything. People see stuff or they hear stuff and they latch onto it, and it's never correct. And to me, if you're not willing to even listen to the other person's side, or somebody who has a different opinion or value or whatever than you, if you're not willing to sit down and listen to their side and have them listen to yours and have an honest discussion about it, then, to me, your opinion is just as irrelevant as the one you're trying to fight against online. But I hope we see more of this. I hope we see more people kind of coming forward and pushing this social justice movement out of the way, because I think it's garbage, and I think it's trash, and I think that people are just simply trying to find things to complain about, and I think it's stuff that's not necessary. And if people are posting things that you disagree with, why don't you ask them about it? Why don't you say, what does this mean, or what point are you trying to get across with this, instead of making an assumption that's almost always wrong just for the sake of, I don't know, being annoying, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand why people do it. To me, it's, if there's people that I have different opinions and values, or even political or religious beliefs, and they're celebrities or athletes or whatever, I don't follow them online. It's that simple. I can still be a fan of so-and-so, even if we have completely different political, agendas or ideas or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I don't know why so many people spend so much time consumed with it. But again, like I said, I am in full support of this. I am in full support of her and her career moving forward, and everything that she does and will do in the future. And I hope that she continues to remain the same person she has been all along, which definitely to me comes off as a very genuine person who is very strong, has a very strong mind, has a very strong opinion. Obviously, we know she's kick-ass. She has proven that time and time again in an octagon and just throughout her career and life and stuff. And I think that she's the kind of person that people should look up to as a role model. Not just young girls, but young guys even should look up to her. And I hope that they continue to do so. And, I want to see more people out here taking a stand to fight back to this cancel culture stuff. I think it's some of the most toxic stuff that we have in the world right now. And I think that, if we don't take a stand to put an end to this kind of hatred towards each other and this intolerance to people's opinions and stuff, then it's only going to get worse. And again, to me, it just feels like complete hypocrisy that, there's so many of these people that want tolerance for their way of life and their lifestyle choices and this, that, and the other, but they're not willing to tolerate anyone else. Doesn't make sense to me. Like I said earlier on in the video, I don't care what race, gender, identifiers, or whatever you want to call any of this stuff. I don't care what you choose to be or how you are if you have good character. That's all that's important to me. But I don't know. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's kind of a hot button issue, so keep it civil amongst each other if you would. But yeah, let me know. Leave me some comments. Hit me up on Instagram if you want to, Sector 7 Podcast. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. See you.